Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here we successfully create our employee ad page, that means the leave ad page. If you go to our leave, that means the employee leave, and that is our add employee leave. If you click it, and then also we load all that our employee user, and also we load all that purposes, right? So into the purposes, as I told you friend, here I want to add one of the JavaScript. So I show you, like, first of all, that is our field, so that is in our ad page. Now go to that ad page, everything will be very much clear to you. Here we will make it very interactive. One of the things, like, that is our one of the name, that is a select name I want to do, and to put on the ID. Okay, here I put on the ID and I just name it as a leave purpose ID, leave underscore purpose ID. Okay, I name it as a same name, or rather than you can also change it as per your demand. So I put one of the ID, and then there is our options, right? So into this option, so after that for each, okay, after that for each I take another option. Okay, I take another option and I put one of the value. I put that value as a 0 value. Okay, so I put that 0 value and I name it as a new purpose. Okay, I name it as a new purpose. So right now if you click as a save all, okay, if you now click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, so now it should be loaded. You can see that is our new purpose. So here I am actually want to do this type of work. So if you don't want to use that as a family purposes or the personal problem, so after that if you want to create as a new purpose, so when you click as a new purpose, one of the input field will be loaded. Okay, so here I want to display one of the input field. That means that is the section, right? That means the select and it on here. So after that select, I want to add another input field. I want to put another input field, input. Okay, input type will be as a text type. I make it as a text type and I name it as a name. Okay, whatever you choose, I name it as a name, and I put on the ID for this, and I name it as a add another. So I name it as a add underscore another. Okay, I name it as a add another, and also I put on the class as a form control class, and you can also use one of the placeholder. Okay, I want to use that placeholder as a right purpose. And here right now if you click as a save all, so now it should be visible. Now if you click as a refresh, now you can see now there is actually another input field. So right now I want to make this input field as a display none. That means here in our input field I want to put one of the style. Our style will be as a display. I make it as a none. Okay, that means display will be as a none. So now it not should be display. So I want to display it with using one of the JavaScript. Like if you now click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, now you can see it's not totally gone. So here as I wanted to, when you click as a new purpose, then our this input that means input field will be visible. That means this input field will be visible. Okay, so I put one of the ID as a add another, and also I put another ID for our this selection as a leave purpose ID. Perfect. So if you want to use that JavaScript, make that sure you load that script. That means the Java jQuery. So we add a lot of the time the jQuery. So maybe in our student registration, you can see into the student registration there is a student. So that means that is actually our Java that means a jQuery main.js. So make sure you add it, because if you want to use that any JavaScript, as I told you before, make sure you add it. So right now I copy it, and now in our employee leave, that means the employee leave ad page, here I want to use it. So I simply paste it. Okay, so I simply paste it, and then here there is actually our ID. So now here I want to add on the JavaScript. So that will be a very small one of the JavaScript I show you. Only with this ID I have to actually show or hide. So first of all I run this our document. Okay, I run this document, and then document will be as a ready. Okay, ready document, and then in our here we have to run our function. So that is our function. Okay, so that will be our function, and after that here we have to change that our on click. That means here I take another one, that will be again the document. So if you already know a little bit the JavaScript, it not should be very hard for you. It's very simple on the JavaScript. So in the on, I want to make it as a change. Okay, that means that will be the change. So on change. So into the on change, whose things will be changed. Here I have already put one of the ID. I have already put on the ID. If you want to access it, you have to access it with the hash, right? So I want to access our ID, that will be as a leave purpose ID. So this one. So I already put one of the section into the section, that is actually our ID, right? Now I copy it, and then here I want to add it. That will be our ID. Okay, in the ID area, I want to put that our function. So our function again, so that will be our another function. Perfect. And then I take another variable as a var. In JavaScript, as I told you, you have to use that var if you want to get any variable. So I take another variable as a leave purpose ID. Okay, I name that as a leave purpose ID will be our this var. That means with this dollar, and then this and this our value. Okay, so I take that things with this value, so that will be our value. And then I put on the if condition. If they have that with this leave, that means our this variable when it should be as a equal 0. Okay, I have also put one of the value. You can see here into the option area, I also put one of the value as a 0. So when it should be as a 0, that means when you actually select this purpose, then automatically this input field will be loaded, right? So that is our add another that will be loaded. So that is a pretty much simple condition I want to use. So that is when it should be as equal 0, then here it should be load. That means with this dollar we have to add this our ID. So our ID, I name it with this hash, and I name this our input field ID. I name it as a add another, right? So now I copy it. I think, friend, you will understand about it. So that is our add another. So this add another will be as a show. So I want to use that show function as a show. Perfect. Else it will be actually hide. So that is actually another one. That is if condition. That means if condition is started from here, and after that will be as else, right? Else it will be the same things. Else it will be the same. And here our this input field, I name this ID as add another. That will be as a hide. Okay, so I make it as a hide. Perfect. So friend, that's all. That is the simple condition I want to use. Now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all. So now I want to check it. If everything okay, it should be work. So right now, if you select as a family member, it's totally fine. Right now, if you want to add another problem as a health problem, like I just click as a new purpose. Yes, you can see, friend, when you select as a new purpose, then it's loaded. When you select as another one, then automatically it's hide. Okay, so that is the things. If you select as a new purpose, you can see there is a new problem is added. So now from here you can add your new problem, and with this you can submit this data. Okay, so that is the things I want to do. So here right now I don't need to create any code application for a specific to create our these leave purposes. Okay, I hope it's very much clear to you. So now we can submit this data. That means we can store this data in our this table. That means the employee leave table. So if you want to insert it, then there is also one of the form. So here we successfully complete our JavaScript, and they have also another form, you can see. So right now I want to create another route for this form. So that is our CSRF token. There is a post method, and here I want to create another route. Okay, I create another route. So our route will be whatever you actually choose, and name it as store. Okay, store.employee leave. Because this type of one of the route I want to create. Okay, friend. So now let's do that work. Now go to our web route, and that will be obviously one of the post method. Now go to our web route, and I copy it, and after that I paste it. That will be as a post method. And then our route name will be as a store employee leave. I copy it, and now go there. That will be as a store employee leave, and I name it as a store. Okay, that means the leave employee store. In our employee leave controller, I want to create another method as a leave store. So that will be our method. So now I copy it. So this method I want to create it in our employee leave controller. Now go to our employee leave controller. Here I want to create new method that will be as a public, and then function, and then our method, right? So that will be our method. So here we have to actually insert this data, right? So also here we have to put some of the condition, because you can actually insert it without using that new one, rather than you can use it existing one. So here also we have to put some of the condition. Better I want to continue this process. In our next video I'll complete that our store method. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.